So the FA Cup is done and dusted and we can focus again on the Premier League. Welcome to the predictions for week 21 on the Footy Network. Afternoon everybody, hope you're doing well and welcome to the Footy Network where there are some tasty fixtures midweek this week in the Premier League. We have maybe a title decider between Forest and Liverpool and plenty of other games to tell you guys about. So if you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to get those likes up. Make sure you subscribe to the Footy Network if you are new here. And let's jump straight into the first game. Stamford Bridge will see the first game of the midweek fixtures as Chelsea will host Bournemouth. And Maresca is without a win in 4 games in the Premier League. Yes, they are through in the FA Cup, but the real business of the Premier League surely must take the priority. Are they in a title race? Chelsea fans tell me they are not. But if they want to remain in a top 4 race, they need a win here to stave off that chasing pack. Bournemouth, on the other hand, are doing very well. 7th in the league at the moment. 1-0 winners against Everton, causing Dyche to lose his job technically in their last outing. But without their striker Evan Nilsson, will they have the firepower up front to get the W? I think that's a big loss for them, and I think Maresca will get things sorted in this game. I'm going to go Chelsea 3, Bournemouth 1. But Chelsea, you must, because the chasing pack are closing in on you. Let's head over to the London Stadium as West Ham will host Fulham in this East Side versus West Side London derby. And West Ham have a new man in charge, Harry Potter himself, taking his first game in charge in the Premier League for what feels like quite a while from his days at Chelsea. But will they be able to get a manager bounce against Fulham, who again are doing quite well in the league? Currently 9th, coming off the back of a 2-2 draw though against Ipswich, where Jimenez had to save them with a couple of penalties. However, West Ham even have a lot of injuries. They did put up a decent performance against Villa in the Cup, but ultimately went out. Has that manager bounce been wasted on a loss already for West Ham? I think so. I think this will be a tight game. I'm going to go West Ham 1, Fulham 1. Fulham are just too good, I think, to withstand that manager bounce. And would West Ham fans be happy with a draw? What do you guys think? If you're a West Ham fan, let me know in the comments. The BTEC Stadium in West London will see Brentford hosting Manchester City. And Brentford were the laughingstock of the FA Cup this week, going out to Plymouth. My God, how embarrassing. However, that so-called fortress at the BTEC Stadium has been penetrated a couple of times by the likes of Forest and Arsenal as well. But can Manchester City continue their run? Is Pep guiding them back on track? Are they going to go into robot mode now? We've seen it so many times, January up until the end of the season, stacking up those W's. I think the answer is unfortunately going to be yes. So I'm going to go on this one. Brentford 1, Man City 2. I'm just starting to see signs of recovery from Man City. This will be a good test. If they can win away to Brentford, then maybe they are back in the top 4 race for sure. But can they? Can they challenge Liverpool? What do you guys think? The City Ground will host the title decider as Forest take on Liverpool. And this is a huge game for both sides. Forest are now 7 games on the spin, wins. Forest are 4 games without conceding a goal. Nuno has got Forest absolutely on fire right now. And in the other dugout, you have Arne Slot sitting there top of the league with a 6-point gap, with a game in hand, but with Forest living completely rent-free in his mind. This is going to be an interesting game. Can Slot swallow his pride, or will he want to get revenge for that one defeat against Forest, his only defeat in 2024, and Liverpool's only defeat so far in the league of the season? This is going to be a tough game. I think you guys by now know what I'm going to say. I'm going to say Forest 0, Liverpool 0. But what I will add, if Liverpool win this one, the title race is done and dusted. If Forest get another win against Slot, they could blow this title race wide open. So I assume that Arsenal fans, maybe Newcastle fans, maybe even Man City fans and Chelsea fans will all be Forest fans Tuesday night. Who are you backing on this one? Let me know in the comments. St James's Park will see Newcastle United hosting Wolverhampton Wanderers. And this is an important game for Newcastle. They are red hot right now. And they will tell me, those Geordies out there, that Isak is the best striker on the planet on form right now. And I'll tell you what, it's hard to argue with them. However, Wolves have done well under new manager Pereira. They were undefeated until they faced the mighty Forest and took a 3-0 L against them. And I think that might be the start of a rough period for Wolves. I think Newcastle right now are the second hottest team in the league behind Forest. Their form is fantastic. 5 wins on the spin, playing scintillating football. This surely has to be a home banker. And yes, I'm backing them. I'm going to go Newcastle United 2, Wolves 0. I just feel they'll have too much at St James's Park. But can Newcastle withstand these W's? Can they keep them rolling in? At some point, the party has to come to an end. But I don't see it being against Wolves. What do you guys think? Goodison Park will see the return of David Moyes as Everton host Aston Villa. And Sean Dyche has finally been relieved of his post up in the Northwest. But is Moyes the right signing? The Everton fans are ecstatic. He has come back to save them. He has ridded them of Dyche ball. This is an interesting one because Villa's form isn't that great at the moment in the league, in my personal opinion. Yes, they did beat Leicester last time out, but just about scraped through 2-1. They turned it around against West Ham, but did struggle for me in that first half. Is the manager bounce going to be enough to see them over the line? I'm not ready to commit to that. Villa haven't fallen off the rails that badly, in my opinion. But I think the David Moyes factor will play into this game. And I'm going to go Everton 1, Villa 1. Moyes has a tough job ahead of him. But according to the Evertonians, if anyone can do it, it will be Moyes. Do you think Everton survive or not this season? Let me know in the comments. To the East Midlands and the King Power Stadium as Leicester will host Crystal Palace. And this is a 6-pointer. But is it really? Because I think Crystal Palace aren't playing that badly and are slowly working their way back up the table. Leicester, on the other hand, to me, seem in serious trouble. There are talks that there are point deductions coming their way from breaches for PSR this week. And on the pitch, they are not looking good at all. Yes, they won in the FA Cup, but even QPR were able to hold them level. I probably won because no one could see who was on the pitch with all that mist. I think Crystal Palace have got something about them. Once they start clicking, we may see their form of last season. So I think this is going to be a comfortable away win. I worry for the Leicester fans. I think they're in big trouble. I'm going to go Leicester 1, Crystal Palace 3. Leicester, you have to find some points from somewhere. Otherwise, the championship is looming. What do you guys think? Can Leicester turn it round? Let me know. The North London derby at the Emirates Stadium will see Arsenal host bitter local rivals Tottenham Hotspur. And they should both come out to the theme tune of Under Pressure, because Arteta is definitely under pressure right now, having had 2 L's technically in the last week at home in both cup competitions, basically halving Arsenal's potential chances of silverware this season. And in the other corner, you have Ange Postecoglou, who embarrassed himself, in my opinion, against Tamworth in the FA Cup, needing extra time to get past part-timers. Shout out to Tamworth. What a performance they put up. This one is a weird one. I just think there could be some kind of Spursiness about this game. They should not win at the Emirates. In fact, they barely score at the Emirates. But something tells me there's an upset coming. I'm going to go Arsenal 1, Spurs 2. There's no logic behind it. There's no graphs or analytics that could ever think Spurs will win this one. But Spurs doing a Spurs, this could happen. And then the eruption in the Arsenal fan base. Get your popcorn ready. What do you guys think? Can you see an upset? Let me know. On the road, we'll see Ipswich hosting Brighton in the next game in the Premier League. And both teams were able to make it through in the FA Cup. However, surely for Ipswich, the bigger focus has to be the Premier League. As we mentioned earlier, they were able to pick up a point against Fulham with 2 penalties against them conceded. They really should have won that game. And they really have to target Brighton, who are horrific right now. The draw masters, the non-win masters as well, you may add to that. So Ipswich, I think, are going to go guns blazing on this game. I can see Ipswich taking this. I'm going to go Ipswich 1, Brighton 0. I think Ipswich will put a fight up this season, but do they have enough to survive? I'm just not sure who they drag into it yet. What do you guys think? Can Ipswich be the plucky Luton of this season? Let me know in the comments down below. Old Trafford will host the final game of the midweeks, and that is Man United versus Southampton. And like it or lump it, United fans, this is a relegation 6-pointer. I know you lot are on cloud 9 because you drew with Arsenal and went through on penalties, but have you really seen that much improvement? Zirkzee waving goodbye to the Arsenal fans' chances of silverware, and Southampton under a new manager still not getting that bounce. Is this going to be the time they finally do get it? If they beat United, are United seriously going to start worrying about their league position? And can they really be dragged into a relegation battle? I don't see Man U winning this one. Then again, I don't really see him winning many games. But I just think that Southampton haven't got quite enough to get over the line. I'm going to go Man U 2, Southampton 2. I think Man U struggle against teams that they are expected to beat rather than those that they are unexpected to beat. This, for me, if Man U win it, would show some form of turnaround, but I'm not convinced. How do you guys see this going? Let me know in the comments. And that's your 10 midweek games. Let me know in the comments who you think will win, lose or draw, and how you think your team will get on. As always, if you haven't already, please don't forget to hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the Footy Network if you are new here. Good luck to your teams this week, and we'll see you on the next video. Have a great week.